Hello, everybody. Welcome to this live stream. I tell you what, we've got a real treat for you tonight. I've got a special guest that's on, Dr. Diane Chapman. But before we before I bring her in, okay, what I want to do for those of you that are here for the first time, one thing I want you guys to do though before we go any further is click subscribe. So whenever we create a new video, we do a new interview with somebody. These products will absolutely change people's lives. We've seen these products save people's lives. So if you'll subscribe every time we have a new one go out, you'll get a notification about that. And I want you to forward these on to other people that you know, love, and care about. Okay, I'm Denson Taylor, Senior Director with Zuma Worldwide. Zuma is a company for almost 30 years now that has been changing the health of a generation. Okay, that is our motto. And what we teach people is that effective hydration is vital to good health because the human body is comprised mostly of water. God created the human body to be that way. And, the great thing about it is if you understand that and you actually, pay attention to it, you can really do a lot to keep yourself healthy. But what most people do is most people don't effectively hydrate their bodies on a daily basis because most people don't really know how to do that. And as a result, we as humans tend to dry up from the inside out as we age. The average person, by the time they turn 65, will have about a 50% body water content instead of 70%. And that leads, of course, to dehydration. Now, dehydration leads to sickness. If you ever go to your doctor and you get diagnosed with anything, whether it's high blood pressure or diabetes or any kind of aches and pains, they're going to put your name on a medication. Medications are diuretics most times. They pull fluid from the blood or further dehydrate the body, which can lead to more sickness, which leads to more medication. It throws the body out of balance. As a matter of fact, you'll notice here, this is an alkalinity scale, 0 to 14, 7 being neutral. Anything below 7, you'll notice is acidic. And you'll notice it says in this statement here that the cells of a healthy body are alkaline, while the cells of a diseased body are acidic. This is a statement from Dr. Arthur Guyton. He actually wrote the textbook of medical physiology. So that cup of coffee that you wake up with every morning, or the bottled water, the sodas, the teas, the juices, the Gatorades, all of these things are very acidic. Now, our blood is slightly alkaline, though, 7.365. Your body must keep this number exactly on point. And of course, if you've got an acidic lifestyle, it's going to pull minerals from your system in order to offset. And you'll notice here that it says in this statement, you can trace every sickness, every disease, and every ailment to a mineral deficiency. This is Dr. Linus Pauling, a 2-time Nobel Prize winner. So our product is a solution. This is why we're here, to introduce you to a very simple, portable, and affordable solution called X2O. This product are minerals in a little tea bag like sachet, over 70 organic trace minerals harvested from right off the shores of Okinawa, Japan. The Okinawans are the longest living, healthiest people on the planet. And it's because of these minerals. In fact, when you add the minerals to water, they transform any water into alkaline water, taking that alkalinity level to about 10. And you'll notice it says here, no disease, including cancer, can exist in an alkaline environment. This is Dr. Otto Warburg. He won the Nobel Prize in 1931 for cancer discovery. So our product is X2O. Again, it's a tea bag-like sachet that contains over 70 organic trace minerals. It neutralizes chlorine. It transforms any water into alkaline water, and it breaks the molecule of the water down, making it possible to hydrate and detox your body at the cellular level. And it also promotes weight loss. And I tell you what, this particular product, we started getting it out over 10 years ago. We've seen unbelievable results. We've seen many things reverse in people's bodies. But another product that we're going to focus on tonight, no puns intended, is Focus Up. Focus Up, we refer to it as the world's first pure energy think drink. And within about 15 minutes, because this is a blend of nutrients that gives your brain what it needs to keep it on point, you'll notice an improvement in your focus, clarity, memory, concentration, mood, and alertness. And this product gives you sustained mental and physical energy. And I tell you what, it's absolutely incredible what this particular product does. So I want to introduce you guys to a good friend of mine, like a sister to me, Dr. Diane Chapman. And I tell you what, Doc, I know that you changed a lot of lives, saved a lot of lives with the two products that I just discussed here. But I want you to come on, if you would, Diane, and just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you've seen happen and how you feel about these products.
Well, first of all, Denson, thank you very much for inviting me to be a part of the platform this evening. It's great to be here. It's great to be representing such a fantastic product tonight, the Focus Up, as we are concentrating on that. And I've been a part of Zuma, started in June of 2011. So I'm celebrating 11 years. It feels like it did the first day that I became a part of the company. It's amazing that we're talking about Focus Up, because that was probably the product that locked me down when we were at the corporate office, and spending that time together for that period of time, and then the drive back to South Carolina. And I'll never forget you going into the kitchen of the corporate office and um, fixing up that Focus Up, and a few hours down the road, or really it was within an hour down the road, it was just amazing. It's just like the whole world had opened up, and I was no longer tired and any of that. But yeah, that introduction to Focus Up was phenomenal. And but it's great to be here tonight to kind of share a couple things that has transpired with the lives of people that we've touched.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I certainly appreciate you taking your time. Guys, Diane is actually traveling tonight, and she checked into a hotel specifically to be able to do this webinar with us. So we certainly appreciate that. But Diane, why don't you first talk about the X2O product and what you've seen happen?
Well, I know that for me personally, when I started drinking the product of X2O, and I saw the difference in the hydration. You'd sent me over a lot of information about what alkaline water does. You were so new at this 11 years ago. And I remember the different videos that you would send, and I was just like a sponge. I was absorbing all of the information that you were sending, and just supporting what the X2O does, and how it breaks the molecules down in the water to the cellular level, so that when we drink the water, it actually goes through the cell walls and is able to hydrate us on a cellular level. And we are only as healthy as our cells. And so with the X2O harvest out of Okinawa, Japan, and to be able to have a product that is so portable that we could just drop in a bottle of water, drop in our green bottles, shake it up, let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then just drink it. It's wetter, it's cleaner, the taste is wonderful. And when I say wonderful, you don't have that lugging bottle after plastic taste that's in water, because the sachet is, the sachet actually is like a filter. So it filters out pretty much all the toxins that are in the bottled water that we use. And so it's just great to be able to have a product like X2O that we know that when we drink it, we're getting the alkalinity in the water that we need. We're getting the minerals in the water. It's like you said on the previous slide, Dr. Linus Pauling says that you could trace every sickness, every disease, and every ailment back to a mineral deficiency. And here we have 70 organic trace minerals that every time we drink a bottle of that water, that we put a new sachet in there, that we're getting those minerals. And to know that our bodies are alkaline through the process of drinking the kind of water that we need, it's just awesome. And so, yeah, there's so many benefits to drinking the X2O water. I started losing weight, dropping a few pounds, and just notice that sometimes I used to get those migraine headaches, don't get those anymore. And it's just a difference that it made for me and my family. Saw a wonderful business opportunity with this, and just started sampling and getting it out to friends and family. And people began to experience, just with the sample itself, tremendous, tremendous results with the product. Yeah, it was
Right.
great.
Well, I tell you what, Diane, I want you to, which you touched on the minerals, and we all know that with, mineral deficiencies comes disease. Okay. And would you say like the minerals in this product is a marine grade mineral? This is harvested from over 200 feet in depth in the ocean. Our grounds in America have been 85 to 90% mineral depleted. Is there a difference in marine grade minerals versus minerals that come through vegetables or whatever out of the ground, because our water's been contaminated and there's no minerals there either?
Well,
How do you feel about that?
the way that I feel about water that just coming right out of the ground is the fact that the minerals have been depleted from the grounds. I mean, it's just very little. I mean, when you think about the minerals that was in the ground back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, you never heard of sicknesses back then like we do today. And that's because the minerals were in the ground a much larger percentage than today. And so when it's just right out of the grounds, or when it's just bottled water, it doesn't have any minerals. And some people have even purchased those expensive machines to get alkaline water, but they don't have the minerals, because once that water is filtered, it comes out of the same ground. And doesn't I always say, if it's not in the ground, it's not in your body. And if it's not in your body, then that's a reason why there's so much sicknesses and diseases, because we've got to have the minerals. And when you think of the depths in which the minerals comes with the sachet, and the marine grade that we have is so prestige. I mean, it just gets right into the cells and do exactly what minerals are supposed to do for the body.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, before we move on to focus up, I want you to give everybody an idea. What have you seen happen personally with people that you've shared these products with? Because we know every disease goes back to a mineral deficiency. Have you seen the body come back in balance and repair some of the things that might be going on?
Well, I can tell you this: when it comes down to high blood pressure, we've seen blood pressure regulated. You had Dr. Linda Rogers Brown on, and when we got those minerals, and who was diagnosed with cancer, had surgeries, but the cancer has not come back because she kept her body alkaline. So we've seen people with all kind of chronic illnesses, diabetes, just people getting the proper amount of hydration in their body with the X2O sachet, just about fibromyalgia. I mean, you just think about all of those different chronic diseases that exist today. And if you can get your pH in your body more toward the alkaline state rather than the acidic state, diseases can't live in an alkaline body. So we've seen so many results that have transpired and have taken place as a result of getting these sachets out, getting this X2O into the hands of our families and friends. And a lot of the people that come in my wellness center, nobody leaves without I can't keep enough sachets on hand. I think I have enough, but I'm telling you, I cannot keep enough, because the one thing most people have an examination of is their own body. And when they get this the X2O into their bodies, and they recognize and realize the difference, there have been people that have said, I drank this when I was drinking this sachet with the water. After about the third bottle, and this is one of my patients that's a diabetic, and she said, my urine always had a stench to it. And she said, after drinking this, I go, and when I look in the commode, I can't even tell the difference. And I know this is pretty graphic, Denson, but I'm telling you, so many people see the difference just in what X2O, when they're actually getting the minerals and the water into the cell walls. And it's like giving your cells a bath. A lot of time, nobody would ever go into a shower without soap. They wouldn't go into a shower with just water. They would go into a shower with soap and water, because the stringent, you want to break down the dirt, the grease, and get a clean body. Well, that's like the sachet. The sachet is like the soap in your water that when you drink it, it's going to wash away the acidity, wash away so many of the toxins that are in your body. So yeah, we've just seen a lot of great results with the sachet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, let's go to Focus Up because I know you've got a powerful, powerful story personally with this particular product. And Diane, like she said, she first tried the product on a trip from our home office back to her home. And I went and mixed her up a bottle of it. She sipped it on the way home. She called me at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning saying, "What was that you gave me?" And, so Diane, I want you to speak on Focus Up. How do you feel about this one and what have you seen happen?
And see, one of the things that I saw when you gave me that sample, and that was everybody needs to feel this way. Because you guys know when you get a certain age, that tiredness, like around that 12, 1, 2 o'clock, that sluggishness sits in. And I'd spent a whole day at the corporate office when I was, analyzing whether or not, I wanted to be a part of Zuma. And when you fixed up that bottle, and still at 3 o'clock in the morning, as I was still traveling, and I felt so excited, so rejuvenated, and I felt so just like brand new and fresh. I said, you know what? This is a powerful product. And so I got back and placed my order, right? And when my product came in, I was telling my husband about it. I said, Ron, this is an incredible product. And so he works as an investment advisor, and he's over a lot of different branches, and he has to travel a lot. And a lot of times in the afternoons, he would call me and he would say, you need to talk to me because I'm sleepy, I'm tired. This was before Focus Up. And it was just like, it's tiresome because when you're driving in from a long trip from whichever branch it may have been that he was visiting out of town, it was just amazing how tired he would be. And I'd get that call about 2 or 3 times a week. And once he started on the Focus Up, I stopped getting the calls. I was like, so you don't love me no more? I mean, what's up with that? But anyway, the calls didn't come in. And I'm going to tell you, my husband will look for you in the daylight with a flashlight if he gave out of his Focus Up. That powder takes him from black and white to high definition. It keeps him focused, on point. And it's like he doesn't leave the house without his Focus Up powder. I do the capsule. I love the capsule. He loves the powder. But it doesn't matter which one. Whichever one gets the job done, just make sure that you're taking your Focus Up. And so that's my husband's story. You want me to continue?
Absolutely. Because, I know we've got people on here and people that will look at this that's got children. Okay. And of course, children need the brain support as well with the cases of attention deficit disorders and that kind of thing. So absolutely, Doc, why don't you speak to everybody on that?
Well, first I want to talk about my oldest son, Gregory. Gregory was in an internship in 2011. And he was he had his last year to finish at the University of South Carolina. And Gregory started on the capsules. And so he was in an internship. He took a class in June and another one in July, made straight A's in both of those classes with an internship, a 40-hour week. And he said to Ron and I at the end of July when school was starting back in August, he said, I believe that the courses that I need to take in January is only 2. I could add them to this current semester, and I think I could finish a semester early. He said, my recall, my memory, I'm so on point. I don't forget anything. I can just focused, and my concentration is just so strong. He said, Mom, if you guys let me just take those courses. And he said, the worst thing that happened is those extra 2, I might not do as well. Y'all gonna have to spend the money for the tuition anyway. So we did, we agreed, and he graduated a semester early. He graduated in December. He did not have to go back in January, so he marched in December. So you guys think about that. For those of you that's got kids in college, for those of you that are taking classes or online classes, and your kids are still in graduate school, it doesn't matter whether or not, you know, they're studying for the bar exam, whether or not they're working, whatever the case may be, you want your children on the Focus Up for sure. So this is my oldest son's story. Gregory doesn't go a day without his Focus Up. And so he graduated in December of 2011. So he's gone on in IT. He's just done extremely well, lives in Manhattan right now, just making an impact in his life. He says, Mom, they don't know the secret weapon that I have, and it's Focus Up. Can't understand that competitiveness and that edge that I have. And I'm not about to tell him I can't recruit him in. He's just like, I said, won't you just share? He's like, no, Mom, that's my edge. I mean, that's my competitive edge. But he loves the product and is doing an extremely job. Now let's talk about the last son. We could be here all night talking about Evan. So I'm gonna cut it a little short. But Evan was 7 when I joined Zuma. And prior to me becoming a part of Zuma and understanding what Focus Up would do, this little boy was diagnosed, at the time he was diagnosed with ADHD, excuse me. And Evan was always, I'm telling you, we got more slips coming home. Evan did this. Evan did that. Evan was this. Evan was that. And you talk to him and say, Evan, and it's like, what is it? And they wanted to, put him on medication. And I mean, they would have those color systems. And, if you had a great day, you was on green. So they had the yellow, the red, yellow, green, the red, yellow, blue, and green. And Evan would bring more reds home. And one day, I'll never forget this, you guys. When I picked him up in Carline, I said, so what color? And I was like, not the first thing I would ask, but it was like, that was one of the questions. I said, so Evan, what color are you on today? Oh, I'm on green. I said, you're on green? He said, yes, Mom, I'm on green. He said, you want me to read to you what the teacher said? I said, yeah, I'd like you to read. He picks up this note. Evan had an excellent day today. Evan didn't get in any trouble. He was just reading this stuff, and none of that was on the paper. He was sitting up on red like he always is, or yellow or blue. And I said, Evan, this is not what's on this paper. He said, well, Mom, I just wanted to make you smile since you're always so sad. All these colors. I said, son, I just want you to tell the truth. He said, well, I don't know what to do. I'm telling you guys, he didn't want to be like he was. These kids that have been diagnosed with these disorders, they don't want to be like that. They don't want to be the one sitting in the corner in timeout. They just don't.
That's
but
right.
They can't control themselves. They can't control what they do and all this. And when I got the Focus Up, and I said, Evan, I want you in. And so he would take the little capsules. So he would take 2 a day, two every morning before he went to school. So he'd come back. So I'm going to fast forward and land the plane. So he went from always being on red or yellow. There's a caution or something. And Evan would bring these greens home. And you always knew when he was on green because he had a pep in his step like you can't believe. And so he's been on the product. He's 18 years old now. He's a freshman in college. He got a full ride with the band. He plays the saxophone. And this kid is, we know when he hasn't taken his Focus Up because there's a difference. There's truly a difference. But just to watch him over the years And when he was packing his clothes to go off to school, guess what? Mom, you got my focus. I got to get my focus up. He doesn't leave
Wow.
home without his focus up. And so it's an amazing thing just to see, he's so you guys think about this. This is a kid, and you think about all these children out there that if in fact parents knew about a product like Focus Up that they could give their kids. Can you imagine the number of children that are on medications? And even for the parents who don't want their kids on medication, the teachers, if those parents knew the difference, because what's happening is the neurons in the brain is making the necessary connection that it needs. It's like an elevator getting stuck in between floors. You want to go up, but you can't go up. You want to go down, but you can't go down. But you take Focus Up. Focus Up helps those neurons to make the necessary connections that they need. And what that will do is be able to put a person in a better position where they can focus. They can have that recall. They will have that energy level that they need. And some people will say, well, I'm fine with my energy. I don't need all that energy. Yeah, but you need your neurons to make the necessary connections that they need. And it's not so much about the energy, but it's more or less about the connection in the brain, because if your brain is functioning properly, it's amazing how the body follows. So yes, I am a strong proponent when it comes down to Focus Up. Every day that I'm in the wellness center, and even if I'm not, it's like tonight I'm here out of town, and it's like this is so important. This was so important to me. It wasn't a trip that I had planned, but it was an emergency family situation out of town. But it's so good to be able to be in a position where you can position yourself. Like, I was so excited about this webinar tonight. I thought it was at 8 o'clock. I was calling Jensen early because I didn't want to miss it, because I have such a passion for people who have children like my sons, were and or is. And just to know that we have a product that can hydrate. They have their little green bottles. They drink, Evan drinks. They've been practicing out in this hot sun this summer. He got his green bottle. He have his sachet in his bottle. Now that's my little entrepreneur. He's already got some of the parents, some of the children parents calling me for the product. Now
Wow.
Greg not going to, but that little Evan, that's a little Diane. And he's a mom. I got you another customer. And Jensen, this kid, and I'm not exactly this boy.
I'll tell y'all what, I want to tell y'all a story. I was at Diane's one time, and I guess he was 7 or 8 years old, and somebody came trying to recruit us into something else. And, the lady went through her presentation, and Evan looked up at her and said, when are we going to talk about the Focus Up? You remember that, Diane?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That was the funniest thing. But I want, before we end this, is one other thing I want you to talk to the parents, okay? Because we'll have quite a few people, hundreds or thousands of people that'll watch this video, and this can be very helpful to them. How do you feel about the medications that they're putting children on, like Ritalin, those type medications for, ADD or ADHD or whatever? How do you feel about that?
Well, from a medical standpoint, as we know, allopathic medicine is where there's those prescriptions that are being written for whatever the illness is allopathic medicine, and the physicians that go to medical school, they're trained to write prescriptions. That's what they know. And they're gonna write what they know. They don't know anything else. And they've had 1 hour of alternative medicine. And so they're trained to go to medical school, and they're trained to write those prescriptions. That's what they know. The teachers in the classroom, when they see the kids, sometimes they're like zombies. sometimes it's like they're not even themselves because they're so drugged up in school. And so a lot of times it's so sad to see the kids in that situation. So when we can have a natural product that we can give children, that they can even have a greater experience. We're not here to diagnose or treat or anything like that. But when you can have a natural product that a child can take, or a young adult can take, adults can take, that can still be able to have that child functionable to the point that they can focus in class, that they can sit still, that they can do their homework. Denson, there are parents and we used to be one of those type parents, Ron and I. We would spend hours with Evan, just trying to get him to focus, because this stuff, unless you have a child that you're dealing with that have those type disorders, it is so frustrating. And you would think, what's wrong with them? Why can't my child have the kind of understanding that they should for what? I mean, this is simple stuff, but those clouds that are in the brain and those webs that are in the brain that's obstructing the flow of the traffic of knowledge in the way that it should, they can't literally, I'm telling you, parents, the kids that are cutting up, they don't want to be that way. They really don't. The kids that you're spending all these hours of time with, and it's like there's something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with these children. What we have to do is feed the brain. Feed the brain. Because here's what happens to these kids. They grow up and they become young adults. And then they become full adults. And you marry them. You date them. And it's the same little kid that no one diagnosed to the point, no one got them the supplements they needed to be able to balance. And then you look at those people and you call them crazy, and they're not crazy. They're just off. You say, that's the same thing. Well, not really. So if you really give the adults what they should have had when they were kids, you'll see the difference, the turnaround instantly. I mean, people notice the difference within days of taking the product. There it is. It is a think drink when you're doing the powder, the capsules, the clarity, the concentration, the recall. And I know a lot of adults are experiencing, what am I going in this room to get? Doggone it. I can't remember. What was I going outside to get? People are having those moments. Where's my glasses? They're on your head. People are having these moments and they are saying, I guess I get to chop it up. I'm getting older. No, you need to be hydrated and you need to focus up. People take the mood. It's like the powder puts you in a happy mood. It's like there's something in there. I can't remember which one of those ingredients it is, but it does. It changes the mood and the alertness that we have, the mental and physical stamina. Y'all can tell I had my focus up today. The physical stamina, it is so awesome. And I love what this product has meant to so many people, but the world needs to know about X2O and focus up, no question.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you definitely want to take these in conjunction with each other, because the X2O is kind of a delivery system for anything else that you consume. And Diane, it's about 15 minutes. You'll transform from black and white to high definition, most people within about 15 minutes. So Dr. Diane Chapman, we really appreciate you coming on. This was enjoyable. And what I want you guys to do is this, okay? Because this is very important information. We are on a mission. We're on a crusade, okay, to create an awareness, teach people about this information. And you know what? We want to teach people how to effectively hydrate. And let me ask you something, Doc. When you know better, you what?
We do better. We do better. We do
There
better.
you
We
go.
should. So the scripture tells us that we perish because of the lack of knowledge. Well, now you know. Now
There
you
you
know.
go. And look, share this information with everybody you can. We don't claim to cure anything or whatever. This is all about what? Nutrition, okay? But if you have anybody with kids or you know anybody that wants that edge, they just want to, get on point or whatever, you recommend this product to them because they'll be amazed at what happens. And again, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be, uploading 2 or 3 of these on a weekly basis. So, it'll be something here that may, change the life of a person that you know, love, or care about. So again, Dr. Diane, I appreciate you being on. I really enjoyed it. I know you're traveling, and I hope your family emergency works out. And, guys, we'll see you here next time. So thanks a lot for being on. Okay.
Thank you.